Hello and welcome to another Agent is In. This is episode 30, and today we're going to talk a little bit about profiling some CFEngine policy, kind of looking to see where the runtime is taking in your policy runs. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen. All right, so the first tool that I wanted to talk about when finding some long-running CFEngine policy is CF profile. Actually, I need to shrink this so that you can. Woo, okay, maybe I will break this line. Sorry, just a second. Let's come over here. Okay, is CF profile, and it lets you find like the bundles that are taking the longest to run. So you can install it. It's in contrib in the core repository. It's just a simple Perl script. It is important to note that for this one to work, you need to run it interactively with CFEngine. It uses the high-res timing output from the log messages to figure out how long it's spending in there. So I can install it here with curl. And let's go ahead and try to run the policy. So I'll just run the normal policy without locks, with verbose logging, and then I'll pipe it through CF profile. All right, so to run CF profile, we're going to run it with without locks and verbose logging. It needs that so that it can find the bundle timing. And then we're going to go ahead and pipe this through CF profile with the execution tree and the summary. So I'll go ahead and var CFEngine bin is where I put that. I'll go ahead and run it right here. Wait for this output. So this is just logging into my hub, running the policy on the hub, and then the output comes back into. There we go. Okay, so that's working there. And then I'll just go ahead and run this interactively. So once again, to run CF profile, we're going to run it with outlocks and verbose logging, and then pipe it through CF profile with the execution tree and summary options. So -T is the execution tree. Looks like there's a typo there. And S for the summary info. So if we go ahead and run our policy like that, I'll wait to get this output. So this script is, again, reading the verbose logs, tracking the amount of time that it gets between the log messages that it's identifying for bundles beginning and bundles ending, and then it rolls up this summary for you to show where the most time is spent in the policy. So I'm going to scroll up here just a little bit, a lot of bit, more. There we go. So here we can see the execution time. So we can see the bundles that are running and how long it is taking each bundle to run. And then down here at the bottom, we get this rolled up summary of the top 10 most time consuming bundles. So I've got this policy running that's got some random sleeps in it, and it's in this slow bundle. And we've got some internal management things that are running. This 2 bundle is actually running as part of slow, and so is this 3 bundle. So CF profile is a really easy way to kind of get this high-level overview of which bundles you might need to focus on for where that policy execution time is being spent. And when you want to dive into something in a little bit more detailed manner, you can use the timestamp options, the timestamp option to CFEngine. So here, I'll grab this and I'll go back here and run this again. And you can see here the CFEngine log output is prefixed with a high resolution timestamp. And that'll let, no, well, we'll look in this log as soon as this is done. Okay, and bundle slow. All right. So if we look at this and we look for begin, I think it's so if you begin bundle and then the bundle name, we can see the time where this bundle is starting, 1318. We can see the time of each individual promise, 1318. And then all of a sudden here, it jumps from 1318 to 1328. So then we can tell here that this promise for bundle agent to sleep, which just runs this commands promise to sleep for 10 seconds, took that 10-second hop. So that lets you drill down into that kind of fine-grained detail of, how long is each individual promise taking. And from there, the next quick tip that I wanted to share was specific to CFEngine Enterprise. So there's a benchmarks table which provides some execution and standard deviation times for things like the agent's execution time per policy entry. Let me pull down. I have Mission Portal open here. And if I scroll down to the bottom of the host info page, you get that summary on the host info page for policy executions, the last average execution time, and the deviation. But I'm actually going to go over here to reports. And there is a canned report called benchmarks. And you're going to see several things in this table, but the thing that I wanted to highlight was these entries for CFEngine execution and then the policy entry. So here we can see promises.cf. This is the last time that it ran on the hub. At that point in time, it was a 21-second run. It was averaging 26 seconds and standard deviation of 8. We see the same thing for the update policy, and if we are to keep scrolling down, we should find it again for previous executions. Let's see here. Here we go. So here's host 1, here's host 2, and then we've got a whole bunch of other entries for how long various things are taking. One of those things is promise execution time for individual promises. So if you attach an action body to a promise, and that action body has the measurement class set, then you will get these entries in the benchmark table that say, that look like this. So you'll have whatever the measurement class was specified as, the promise type, and then the promiser. So you can do this at a large scale and then run some analysis on it for how long specific promises are taking. So here I'm measuring some methods promises. We can take a look at that in the policy to see what that actually looks like. Let's see here. So this is the policy that I'm running over there. So here's our slow bundle. And you can see that these 3 bundle calls, 1, 2, and 3, each have this measure promise time action body attached to them, and then measure bundle X or whatever bundle. So that was the measurement class. If we come down here into measure promise time, it's actually not going to be here because it's part of the standard library. Let's see here, master files, and measure promise time. So this is what the definition of that bundle looks like. So measurement class just takes whatever string you passed in, and then that measurement class string is what gets used to identify that in the actual reports. So of course we could come down here and grab this and attach this to any individual promise. So if we want to, we can measure this commands promise just by attaching an action body that's going to set that. So we could say measure my command that is slow. Such a terrible string. So here we go. We'll add that to that. Let's save that, commit that. Here. Oh. Sorry, this Zoom thing is in the way. There we go. Sure. Push that up, and if I grab mission portal again, oops, to grab mission portal, come over here, should, oops, hub info, just do it from here. Go ahead and run that update policy to pull in the changes that I just pushed to that upstream repository. We see that it pulled in the changes to update.cf or my.cf. Let's go ahead and run the policy so that those timings will be recorded. And then if I go ahead and request report collection from the hub, I'll go ahead and go back over to report that benchmarks table, and we'll see if we see what I just added. There it is. So measure my command that's slow. This one happened to be sleep 11. Obviously, it took 11 seconds to execute, and this promise is going to change every time because it's a dynamic promiser. So that's pretty much it as far as quick tips to analyze some policy. Does anybody have any questions?